last 7, a not so philosophical wax regarding the last 7 days. I'm your host, as ever, Dan Rowley. Joining me today, Antonio Romola.
Hi.
Justin Cliff.
Hi.
And Kenneth Trainer.
Good morning, everyone.
People have been lagging off the last episode. Not that many listeners. I don't know why. It's not been up for very long, I guess. Get it listened to. I assume you have if you're listening to this, and you're ordered to listen to the last one. So do that. Do it sequentially. Start from 1, and then stick with it. Or just listen to this one and share it.
Mind you, if they started at 1 and they listened to all of it, there's probably over 40 hours of just
there is
us.
But that's
I guess it's our job to make that appealing. But we don't try very hard.
Some of us don't try very hard. Have you got a cunt of the week this week?
Yeah.
Do you want to elaborate or?
No. We'll
all right, okay.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later on.
Yeah, no, we'll get to that later on. It seems like I've got one now, and I think Tone's sort of thinking about it. Oh, there's a couple of things, Tone, that we didn't bring up. You know, when we talked about evolution beforehand.
Yeah.
There's a couple of models that we didn't bring up. When you said like humans are we're top and we're perfect and this, that, and the other, and why aren't all animals why aren't they hoping to achieve what we can achieve? Jay and I were watching just before you came over, baby ducks being born, hatchlings hatch, and then they just drop out of a tree into a river. Baby kangaroos are born, they crawl across their mother's side and get into a pouch to redevelop. Baby giraffes, if they don't walk, if they don't stand up within 40 minutes, they become lame. You compare that to a human baby, we can do fuck all until we're about, independently, 3, 4 years old. We're terrible, mate. As far as how we've mollycoddled to the point where we've evolved to know that, the first 3-4 years of your life is cared for. Every part of you is cared for by other people.
Imagine that. Imagine your mum having to climb the tree in labour, and then she just like births you and just drops you in a river.
Is that what happened?
How dare you?
Can I tell you one more fact about? Well, not a fact. It's another really beautiful way of describing the evolutionary process, the evolution of life itself, actually. So if you see the evolution of life, not of the planet, okay, just of life on Earth from a single cell organism, like we spoke about before, talking about plant life and animal life, okay? If you see that as a year, if you can press all the time and see it, look at it as 365 days of a year. Land plants only began to appear on the 7th of December, and humans, you and I, appear at 9 PM on New Year's Eve.
Whoa.
So just an idea of the scale again of it, man. In
Holy
case you're worried about
shit.
like, you're not happy, are you, man?
So what you're just saying is that we've had more time?
No, loads last time.
No, because he just said New Year's Eve, yeah? So we're at the beginning of that year.
No, at the end.
No, at the end.
The last 3 hours of the whole year.
Oh, the New Year's Eve,
Yeah.
Shit, yeah. Yeah.
So we appeared before all plant matter and everything else, and how would we
No, just wanted you to say, just to give you some context at the time, because I think that was one of the issues that you had with it.
I think you failed.
Yeah, definitely.
So the plan started when?
Right.
9th.
The 7th of December.
The 9th? Where did you make it?
7th December,
7th
and then
of
we
December.
started...
Those are plants on land, because everything was water for a long time, and then water's receded, and then the plants they didn't move.
I don't get what you're trying to tell me.
So what he's saying is, on the scale, if you put 365 days on a scale, from January the 1st all the way through to December the 31st.
Yeah.
That's right, Justin. Those are the...
I was questioning
really
December the 31st.
No,
I was like,
I get
shit.
that, but I don't get what...
So then humans appeared, right? Look from January all the way through February, nothing.
Yeah.
March, nothing.
Not nothing.
Yeah.
Everything else.
But I'm talking about humans specifically. He's talking about humans appear at 9 o'clock on the very last day. So we have only been here, in terms of a year, for 3 hours.
Mars 1. The television show going to Mars.
You looked it up?
It was only brought... Well, yeah, we looked it up.
Yeah, found this shit out to be factual, I bet.
No.
Did you not listen to the one when I read out the whole mission statement?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, right, okay, yeah.
It was brought up on the news quiz, hosted by Sandy Toksvig on a Friday.
Oh, really?
He's
listened to a lot of Radio 4.
I have, yeah.
All you're doing is lifting Radio 4
That's
material
straight,
and putting it in our podcast.
What
This
do you think?
seems slightly plagiaristic, but we'll go with it.
It's not plagiarism, it's sharing best practice.
Right, nice, good. You found your way out of that.
Yeah,
haven't you?
definitely.
Clever little loophole.
Just expanding. It was, what was
At
it?
least he's
QI
crediting
and
them as we're talking about them.
Yeah, there's QI.
there's no such thing as
There's
a
no
fish.
such thing as a
That's
fish,
where it
but the
started.
QI, that's where
And
it
now
started.
you've added some...
They rubbed off us, and I've told them, I've tweeted them and all sorts, and saying we had Coco the gorilla before they did.
Right.
They were talking about Yeah, like I said, Mars One. We spoke about Mars One before it got brought up on the news quiz. Just wanted to link in and hopefully get us on Radio 4.
Is this
Why are you so fucking hairy?
is this like a demo, like an interview? Is this like a pitch?
Oh, now I feel under pressure. So no, unless people like it.
Always good answer that one.
Yeah.
Is this you trying to impress me? Not unless you're impressed.
If you're not, I couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
This is what I think of your test, Mr. Teacher.
You did really well though. Oh shit! Oh, get all my poo off there. I didn't mean to wipe my bum with the test in kind of protest. If I did really well, then yeah, accept me.
They said that the TV show is going to be produced by Endemol.
Oh yeah, nice.
And then Jeremy Vine said, yeah, Endemol is a good title for it.
That's brilliant.
So,
but yeah,
directly lifted from Radio 4 that was.
Yeah, well, yeah. But at least you're crediting as you're going along.
Yeah, doubtless. But yeah, Mars One, they were laughing about it, TV show and things like that, because it's obviously shit. Because they want to get a rocket that hasn't been built yet. And they said the satellite, what was it, 2035?
No, 2024, isn't it?
2024 then.
It's 2018 is when they're sending the first
That's
stuff
right,
there.
yeah, that's right.
And then 2024 is when they send the first sort of manned mission. So there will be stuff there already waiting for them.
I always like my boardroom imagination with these things. I'm thinking of the people coming up with the ideas around a table and like Big Brother's old hat. How can we rejuvenate this idea of people in an enclosed space? What was that? What? Just talking about people in an enclosed space. 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 I've got it. We'll do Big Brother on Mars. And they just went with it. They were just like, yeah, that's amazing. Right, here we go. They drew up all the plans. And they're like, right, what's our budget looking like? 20 billion?
It was brought up on the news because it was in the news that it was, I think, 100 Britons had been whittled, 100 Britons who'd applied.
That's right. That's,
five.
Yeah, I saw, yeah.
Oh, five have been.
Five have been chosen. No, maybe
100
100
applied, but it's been whittled down
Five.
to 5.
Right.
Five people didn't apply.
I'm looking at an article on the Telegraph
Any scientists?
website, and there's a women's life section. I mean, the headline is beautiful. Mars One mission. My boyfriend is cool with me going to Mars on a one-way trip.
That's a very telling.
My boyfriend is okay with us breaking
It's
up.
a 23-year-old woman called Hannah Earnshaw, and she is the lady who Katie Hopkins recently tweeted, Brit 24 on shortlist for one-way trip to Mars. My family are thrilled for me. With respect, you must have been a pretty bad daughter.
Well, if anyone should be sent up to Mars to live out the rest of their existence, it's fucking Katie Hopkins.
No, just say that she's going to Mars and go, yeah, we like the straight talking way. I think the only way that we're going to properly communicate is with, rudeness. That's what we need. And just send her to the fucking sun. Just do anything else. Just go like that. Yeah, just no communication. As soon as she's blasted up, oh, alright, you all ready, Katie? Yeah, actually, it turns out the world fucking hates you. You're a caricature of a real person.
Yeah.
Just fuck off.
I mean, Katie Hopkins is
Radio
saying this.
silence. Just dies in silence with her own thoughts.
Katie Hopkins is saying this, right? She's 23, this lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's doing a PhD in astrophysics at Durham University.
That's the way.
Because you're right. It's 100 people are on the shortlist. 5 of them are British, but they've been chosen from 200,000.
So yeah, degree in astrophysics, man. But actually,
no, she's doing a PhD. So
a
she's actually
PhD, I
doing,
beg your pardon, yeah.
A research doctorate in astrophysics. So you're asking were there any scientists because you thought they were getting people from.
Yeah, indeed.
I'm not being funny, but anyone that ends up going there is just going to be gutted.
Why?
Because it's just like one of those things, I think, where like the build up to it is really exciting, your journey is exciting, you get there, and then it's like you're there, and it's like, fuck, actually, there's not much to do.
You had any?
And not much to look at either.
Like what? What do you like?
Exactly,
What are you thinking of? What's happened to
there's
you that
nothing
you're
to
thinking
look
of?
at. There's nothing to look at or do.
Right. Okay.
What are they sending up there? A couple of
Well,
game
first of all, they're going to send up loads of things.
Yeah,
with
they're going to
solar
send
panels.
people up to Mars to play computer games.
Oh, well, he was like, they'll send stuff up there ready for them before they get there. Like what?
Solar panels to power everything.
Oh, good. That's gonna be fun, isn't it?
Well, no.
I get where he's coming from, but the idea is that they're supposed to. I don't know. What is the idea? They're supposed to start some sort
All
of
I'm
civilization.
saying is, I'm
Establish
sure
a
after about
colony.
half an hour it'll get boring. For them.
We've done everything now.
Yeah. Oh shit! Half an hour in, regretting it. Half an hour being on the surface of Mars. Like, is there any way we can go back? No, it took us fucking 8 years to get here.
Yeah, there's a lot to contemplate on the journey as well. You say the journey would be interesting. I reckon the novelty of the journey would wear off pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the whole
How many
thing-
years is it to get to Mars?
I think it's 18 months, something like that.
Is it what?
It's a long time.
18 months? That's not as much as I thought it would be.
I don't think it's several years. I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think so, man. It takes.
You travel pretty fast.
I really don't know. I don't know why I said 18 months. It's just something I pulled out of my ass.
I think it's got to be years. I've got in my head 3 for some reason.
3 years. Can I
I
find
just
out
want to
now?
point out that when I initially brought this up, I was a laughing stock in this room.
You still are. 'Cause
You
it's not
all
going to
thought I
happen.
was no, that wasn't the point. You didn't even believe it existed, and now Sandy Toxvig's come along,
No, I believed it.
and now you're all now we're all talking about it.
If you listen back, mate, I believe that you'd read it.
And to be fair,
I was skeptical about even that with some of the stuff.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
You know, they put all this money into it, right? And they put the journey is planned. It's dead set. They can't.
I think they'll plan it.
They can't go anywhere else. Once they're in the air, they just go into this place. But
That
then
is
as
what
they're
it'll
on
be.
their way to Mars, they pass a planet they've never heard of before. That looks so much better. It's like all green and ready to go, like. And they're like looking at it and they're like, what shit?
I think about it for its television quality. It's almost like the Truman Show. Like, it's a TV series that you've got to invest in for fucking how many 18 months to start off with, and that's just the journey of I don't think it's how long does it take to get to Mars, Ken? Can we have a little check on this, please?
I'll
Oh
try
no
and
no no!
find
Can we have a guess first? We're gonna like see who gets
I'm
close.
sticking with
Alright,
18 months. I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
go with 10 months.
Okay. The moon, just to give it some scale, takes 4 days to get to the moon. Mars is further though.
This is blowing my mind. Does it take 4 days to get to the moon?
Yeah, 4 days, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Why, how long is
The
that
moon's a
more
lot
than you'd
closer,
expected?
though,
It's
isn't it?
way less than I expected.
Oh, right.
The moon's
right,
a lot
okay.
closer.
I'd put the moon at like.
I thought.
Do you
like
think
a
Neil
month.
Armstrong came back like looking as old as he
I
does
thought it was
now?
about a week.
Got back.
Yeah,
Got
I
back
did.
in like the early 90s.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wasn't sure if he was back, to be honest.
No, he stopped off at that planet.
Oh, guys, you should go to Blistonia. It's amazing.
Okay, the precise duration of each journey depends on when it's taken,
Of course.
because the orbits aren't perfectly circular,
Oh man.
We've got
and you
none of
don't
us should
you
go.
don't
None
really
of us.
travel in a straight line.
Jesus.
However, it takes between 6 and 8 months.
Oh, I nearly
So about
said
seven-
I nearly
about
said
7
8
months.
months.
That's
I
brilliant.
didn't even said 8.
So, yeah.
6 to 8 months to get to Mars.
Mm.
That has blown my mind.
Because I didn't think it was that long when you said 8 months. I was like,
I thought
you
8
can
months- I
get
thought
there
8 months
really
was
fast.
like conservative.
Why is a TV show going there
They're not.
before
I
anyone
think
I
not.
cannot
Yeah.
stress you enough how much
Why
they're not
can't
going.
we book a ticket?
Why hasn't
No, but it's not-
Why hasn't space? Why haven't NASA been there?
The technology doesn't exist
Huh?
to get there.
Then why are they? What's this TV, mate?
Right,
Stop
right,
using-
I
right,
am
right.
so.
Stop
my
it now,
head is-
stop it now.
right.
It's not... Right, they've got this idea to go and set up a colony on Mars, and then they've thought, well, we could televise it as well. So
Right.
it's the other way around.
Yeah,
It's not
no.
someone saying, I'll tell you what, make a good TV show. How the fuck do we do that?
Yeah.
It's the other way around. Another great headline here, 100 shortlisted for chance to die on Mars. They don't fuck around on the Telegraph, who knew?
But I don't
I'll
get.
tell you another one that I found. German paedophile beaten to death in Spain was Katie Price's assistant.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say beaten to death in space then when you started.
It's the only place for him.
Yeah.
Spice.
Send them out to space.
to space and beat him up.
But this is what this is why I thought the stakes were quite high, because I thought it took years to get there. So I thought if you're dedicating to go there, if it's only 8 months away, why can't you just nip back?
Because on Earth we've got the technology to propel ourselves away,
Yeah.
but to come back is a lot more difficult.
Shit.
So they're not going to take all the stuff that makes it capable for them to return in any.
No,
Eventually-
they're gonna take.
eventually,
Yeah,
I
but
guess,
initially they're gonna take the stuff so they can survive living there.
Right, of course.
Yeah. You need a rock. You need to escape the
The
atmosphere, don't you?
atmosphere.
The
Yeah, I know
gravity.
you need like a big blast off and
That's
shit.
scary, man, because they might not ever be able to get back.
Well, they
won't
won't
ever
the first
get back.
lot. Yeah, that's what they're saying. They won't. Would you go?
That's rough. No.
No way.
Because
Okay.
it'd probably be really disappointing, right? After
Well,
half an
yeah,
hour.
like I said,
Look, the thing is,
First
right,
one,
we all know
okay.
Neil Armstrong, we all know Buzz Aldrin. Name me another astronaut, Toe.
Michael Collins,
Buzz
Yuri
Lightyear.
Gagarin,
Alan Shepard.
I said
Laika
Toe.
the dog,
All right.
Like the dog, yeah.
Tom Hanks,
yeah.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all those.
Dude,
Yeah.
so this is what I mean.
Jim
You
Lovell.
go be like, yeah, I'm gonna go
Jack
down in history.
Swigert.
I'm gonna go down in history as one of the people who's been to Mars. No, probably not. Not in the general public's mind.
No, that's right.
In nerds' mind, you'll you'll still exist. So what do you think might be the appeal for someone?
Oh, someone that hasn't really got anything exciting happening for them on Earth. Because, like,
That's suicidal and the unemployable.
I
You'd
really,
have to be really unsuicidal.
I
You'd have
think-
to be mentally, medically checked over from top to bottom. You'd have to be absolutely sound.
I think you'd have to be really unsociable, really lonely, and just not and love silence, love absolute silence, love nothing.
Why would everybody be silent? You're going with other people.
Well, yeah, I know, but I don't know. Just
Welcome to
still-
Mars. Shh.
It's a library.
Is that the
it's a
first
guy.
library on
Like,
Mars?
can, you,
Yeah.
can you listen to music up there?
Yes.
Yeah, doing it. You can't go for a little drive, you know, and pass fucking some mountains or
Fucking
go
hell.
fishing or.
Probably can. They'll give you a fucking Mars buggy to
Yeah.
drive around on. Go and discover a new planet. No one's ever been at Imagine. Now I'm starting to see. They
Right,
give you a
now
little
that's
moon buggy.
exciting. That's
You're
exciting.
driving around.
Exciting.
Oh man! And then you find a lake. And
The
you're
view.
like, oh, amazing.
Your view of Earth and the other planets.
you
Your
can
different
see-
view.
Yeah.
Different perspective of the universe.
Yeah, but then at the same time, it's not like going to
What
have
was-
like an interesting landscape or anything, is it?
Why not?
Why not?
I'm gonna go with this question, even though, I mean, I think I've already admitted total and utter space ignorance. Is Mars bigger than Earth?
I think it is, isn't it? I think Earth is actually one of the smallest planets, yet it's got life on it. I thought that was like one of the most interesting things about it.
Don't think that's a prerequisite for life, though.
No, I'm just saying that it is.
Oh, it has to be where Earth is,
I
yeah.
thought we were one
Where
of the
Earth
smallest.
is, but not the size of it. Oh, maybe actually gravitation and
Yeah,
I
of
thought
course.
we
Yeah.
were one of the
yeah.
smallest.
It's one of the arguments that people give for creationism is that the chance of it happening is so minute.
Yeah, the universe is so massive.
Yeah, exactly. But the chance of it is so minute that they have to sort of imply creation. Otherwise, it wouldn't. Or the argument of fine tuning they call it irreducible complexity, where they say that it's so amazing that it could have happened that there had to be some intervention. The argument against is although your imagination is big, the universe is even bigger.
Earth is bigger than Mars.
Do you think? Do you guys believe that there's a future in humans and Mars? That there's actually a way of someday Mars becoming a frequently visited planet, or actually
Well,
things
every 8 months.
happening on it,
even quicker in the future.
like actually building on it, and
Like
Yeah.
you nip over there, like you go to Spain or something.
not.
I think it's entirely
Not like a
possible. Mate.
holiday
Yeah,
thing,
probable.
I actually
Maybe not.
I actually don't think that is that is too outlandish. I think you got to look at like
Wow.
how relative it is and how
Wow.
long did it take to get to the moon in like the 60s when they first went, and how long does it take now?
Less than 10 years, mate, and that was less than 50 years after they mastered the aeroplane.
Yeah, so
We're the shit.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm saying like Mars could be a frequented
Yeah.
planet, could be the next fucking.
Could have happened already if they'd have just carried on with the space. People didn't lose interest in the fucking banality of the universe.
Fucking people.
I know.
In terms of naming the planets, like why did we get called Earth?
It's good point. I don't know.
No, aren't they just something
the-
to do with gods?
Yeah, well,
Venus,
the
Mars,
Earth. Well, yeah, they're all gods.
Pluto.
Yeah.
Why are we Earth?
Because it's made of
Made of Earth.
Why couldn't we live on Titan?
We got Ken.
I was gonna say as a joke about Earth because it's just like dirt, but it literally means ground. It's
Oh.
derived from like English and German words meaning ground. And it's the only planet that's not named after sort of Greek or Roman gods, goddesses.
Who named it?
What?
Who the fuck named it?
Well, someone named it. They didn't discover it. We've been on it for ages
I
before we
know.
chose to name it.
I know that.
Yeah, it's
Wasn't
when they
English
sent
word?
up the first satellite and they saw stamped
yeah.
on the
A big
Earth.
label dangling
Yeah.
off it.
That is the most compelling argument that you can have for creation, and that's the serial numbers on every animal. Which is annoying.
Especially zebras.
It's
Can't believe we didn't do it last week.
What?
Just Tone Minute. Justin.
Yeah.
You have 1 minute since you won last time. You get to start. 1 minute to speak on the subject of space exploration without repetition, some hesitation, heavy hesitation, or deviation from the subject. And your minute starts now.
We first began to explore space in the latter part of the 20th century from Earth. I fucked this already. I'm just trying to speak really slowly to buy myself time.
Yeah, but you got to speak fluently, you know what I mean? Otherwise you'll get lost like you just did. Antonio, space exploration. There are 47 seconds remaining on the clock. And go.
Space has been explored for a long time.
Right, straight away. No arms and ours. I'm not having this.
All right, okay. So you're saying hesitation?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's
definitely.
excellent. You get awarded a point for a correct challenge there, Justin. Well done.
my God.
Great.
Okay, Justin. 36 seconds left. Space exploration. Go.
Neil Armstrong was the first man to walk on the moon. For many, many years before that, people had thought it was never going to happen, but Neil Armstrong had a dream, just like Buzz Aldrin did, but it turned out that it was Neil Armstrong that was the first man to...
I'm going to challenge that repetition of Neil Armstrong like 3 times.
Yeah.
Tone, you've got 24 seconds. Space exploration. Go.
Space exploration will normally.
No, back! Hesitation.
Oh, fuck you.
Okay, ready? 21 seconds. Space exploration. Go.
Space helmets. They're an interesting concept because they are required when you are planning on exploring space outside of the vessel you have been sent there in. When you're on the moon, it is important to bear in mind that gravity will be different from it is on the Earth's surface, and this was one thing that they had to take into consideration whilst here on Earth to ensure that when exploring space we would be able to do it properly.
And that's a minute. Well
Beautiful.
done. Point for Justin. You're winning the series 2-0.
Do you want to do this Earth quiz or?
Yeah, we'll go for the Earth quiz.
How old is the planet Earth?
It's 4.5 billion years old.
I'll give you that. 4.54 billion.
Give him fucking point, what? 4 or 5 or something?
400,000 years, so I think he's
Yeah.
right to question it.
No, not the scale of things. We're
Wrong.
talking the billions here.
The hottest weather recorded on Earth was a temperature of 136 degrees Fahrenheit or 57.8 degrees Celsius in 1993. Where?
The Death Valley in the United States.
Death Valley, California?
Yeah.
It was not. It was in El Azizia in Libya.
Oh, no wonder there were riots.
The largest rat ever known lived in what is now East Timor up to about 1,000 or 2,000 years ago. How big was this rodent behemoth?
Size of a cow. Same as the guinea pigs.
Yeah, say that.
Was it slightly bigger than a house cat? Was it almost as big as today's hippos? Was it the size of a modern anteater? Or was it about the size of an adult man?
I think the first one, cat.
Slightly bigger than a house cat.
Yeah.
It was slightly bigger than a house cat. Tom.
Hey,
Well done.
Tom.
points for Tone.
I seen one mate get into the river in Newport, like. It's massive.
No, that was just a house cat.
It looked like a cat from
It was either them, a cat, or a 2,000-year-old rat.
I think it was an ugly cat.
It said slightly bigger than a rat, not looking about the same as a cat.
And
bigger.
about
I
cat
think it was
size.
a cat that just had its tail like shaved. Like,
It was the biggest
right
rat
down.
that ever existed.
Have you ever
And
seen?
it was slightly bigger than like Marilyn there.
Hmm.
So if you think about it, if it was the biggest cat, it'd be like a big lion thing or something, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Does it apply to everything like that? Does everything notch up a grade? When you go rat cat size, cat dog size, dog cow size, cow elephant size, elephant, I don't know, just bigger than
Bigger
an
elephant.
yeah.
Mammoth, woolly mammoth.
Woolly mammoth size.
Hmm.
Does it?
Well, yeah, you
What,
missed
you
out
mean-
a
what,
few
if they could
sizes, I
eat-
think, from dog to cow, for instance, and from cow to elephant.
Yeah, but I mean, relatively speaking, a cat to, say, an Alsatian
Do you
is
mean if
like
they were like
a-
to eat each other?
Yeah.
Well, there's an old woman who swallowed a series of. I think it was fly, spider,
Bird,
bird,
cat,
cat,
dog,
dog,
horse.
Do you reckon
That's the order.
a cow could beat a heffalump in a fight? So it's like an
Well, a heffalump is a fictional creature from Winnie the Pooh,
No, it's
isn't
not.
it?
That was what they called. That was what they called baby elephants. Oh God, am I wrong? Oh, shit. I thought they were called heffalumps. Oh no way.
Just
Oh,
heifers.
calf. They calves.
Yeah, they are
calves,
calves, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just thinking because that gets to the point where it's about the size of a cow. But obviously, with a cow, because it's more mature, win a fight against a baby.
What, experienced at fighting?
Or would an elephant, because of its strength, beat a cow.
An elephant has essentially got 4 legs and an arm thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
An arm thing.
Well, it's nose,
Trunk.
it's trunk, so
Oh,
it's essentially
yeah,
got
yeah,
like
I
a
see.
punching tool, where a cow has really got nothing to fight with or
Horns.
defend itself with.
Yeah.
Horns, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You decide that, mate.
Would they even fight? They probably wouldn't, would they?
No, they wouldn't meet.
They'd probably be friends. They'd be mates.
No, I'm just thinking, you know that
Yeah, they're
thing,
related,
you know
aren't
that
they?
really nerdy thing where it's like, oh, what would win a fight between a polar bear and a tiger?
Yeah,
and shit like that.
you never
We
really got into
ever
the spirit of it, did you?
Well, no, we never ever think about, like, you know, coming up with ones like, you know, like a freaking weasel against a frog. We never ever think of ones like that. We always think of, like, the most ferocious animals.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
of the most violent fight.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
a
like,
starfish versus a limpet.
Yeah.
Who would win?
Sloth versus koala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if we're going to go for tone,
Are
Steve.
those the ballpark you're thinking
Yeah.
of?
Well,
Right.
it's just-
They wouldn't even. Those animals
Anything
wouldn't
more
fight
usual.
because probably they just eat
They
vegetation.
probably, well, that's the thing. I don't
And
think a cow.
insects.
I don't think cows can fight, can they? They've
No.
not. They never.
a sheep against an anteater.
Well, the anteater is at a disadvantage because it's not even peckish for sheep.
No, but obviously, a lot of these animals wouldn't even fight. So you'd have to do something to the animals first to get them like a bit aggressive.
Show
and
the
violent.
sheep pictures of the anteater in bed with his wife, drinking his brandy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you- Of these ultimate animal ones, there is one that exists on YouTube. It's a tiger versus an alligator.
Oh
I
yeah.
know exactly how it
Oh.
goes down exactly as I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Tiger just gets on top of it and just bites through its head basically
All right.
until it stops moving.
Oh god, that's horrible.
They're really unagile on land, aren't they?
Well,
Alligators,
they're quite
crocodiles.
flat. Yeah, they're not.
A tiger is like one of the most agile sort of creatures, so it was always going to go down that way. But yeah, tones are much more fun.
Yeah, and let's not forget, you made up an animal first of all, so
Yeah.
we go anywhere you like with it. Cat in the Hat versus Cyclops from the X-Men. Cat in the Hat mind is magic, so
Yeah,
whereas
just throw
Cyclops
his
is
hat.
dead hard
Yeah,
with
just
laser
throws his
vision.
hat really hard at him.
Yeah, exactly. It's not
It's
odd job,
not- it's-
idiot.
It's not lasers though. That's the weird thing.
No, it's not, is it?
It's optic blast.
Optic
whatever
blast,
the fuck
yeah,
that
yeah.
means.
His eyes are so amazing that he just, well, you can't control him, can you? That's what the visor's about.
That's what the visor's about. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
constantly blasting this beam out of his eyes. Don't know how that works.
How was
Why-
he born?
Brain isn't depleted. No, because your powers kick in when you reach puberty. A lot of them.
Ah,
In
right, of course,
X-Men
yeah,
law
yeah.
and you mutate.
That's
when
how a
you
lot of
know.
them get found out as well when they're in sex education in high school and they go, you might have noticed some changes, some hair where there wasn't hair before, some of your voices might be getting deeper, and the laser eyes, and the sorry. What was that, Scott? Nothing?
Any more quiz questions?
What is the nickname? This is a genuine question now. What is the nickname of the largest tree on Earth? Treebeard, the Great Sherman, the Isaac Newton, or Giganticus?
The Great
I
Sherman.
think it's called, yeah. I
Anyone
think
gonna
it's-
buzz in?
I'm going to go with Giganticus.
I'm going to go for, with Tony, I'm going to go the Great
Shit.
Giant
I
Sherman.
forgot about the buzzing thing.
The General Sherman.
The General Sherman, sorry.
Correct. It's called the General Sherman.
Ah,
I don't
cool.
know why. I just
Is it a
thought it sounded
sequoia?
cool.
A giant redwood?
I tell you what, man, it looks fucking massive.
There's a great picture. I'll chuck a link up to them as well. You got any thoughts on space as well? Give us an email, thelast7podcast@gmail.com, or follow us on Twitter @thelast7. Very space heavy, but also just ginormous size. There's great pictures of Canadian tree fellas and people in America chopping down giant redwoods, and it takes you a while to establish the scale because there's like 6 or 7 guys sat on the stump of it. Minute. And you see it
Really?
being felled, but you see like huge chunks that they've cut out of it at angles so that it falls, properly. You're talking about when one of those things falls, it's unreal. Doesn't matter if anybody's around to hear it. Makes a massive fucking noise.
Yeah.
Anyone want to hazard a guess at the height of the General Sherman?
170 meters.
I
That's
really, in
ridiculous,
terms of
man.
scale,
That is ridiculous.
That's
and thick.
ridiculous, mate.
in terms of scale, I really have no kind of realistic idea. But
Well, it's-
I'm going to go with 75 meters.
Not bad. It's 83.8 meters.
Oh, I didn't
fucking
even
hell.
get
31.3 meters in circumference on the ground. The maximum diameter is 11 meters.
It's 33 meters in circumference.
Yeah.
Yeah. To walk around the base of it, it's huge.
Holy shit! It would be cool to say climb it or get up there, say where you go to, I don't know, like 20 metres up, chop it off the top, and then
That'd be solid.
hollow it out into a house.
Oh, amazing.
How cool would that be?
Yeah, that guy, that Clark, Amazing Spaces, you'd fuck him with that.
Yeah,
You'd
yeah,
totally
wouldn't
get
you?
in a tree, not
Yeah.
piss off
Yeah,
to your mirrored house.
that'd be amazing.
Yeah, mate, that would take so long though to chip away.
Yeah, but it'd be
that.
worth it.
Yeah, imagine.
Dude, you'd live in a tree. If anybody would want to live there in a fucking tree stump, it'd be you.
Yeah. Yeah. it'd be
Hobbiton
awesome.
McGee.
Imagine all the fucking bugs you'd have to fucking like keep away, like trying to get.
No, you can put fucking seal all the make window holes, do it properly. I'm not talking about just fucking carving the husk out of a tree and sleeping in it.
No, I know. I know you do mean
A
that.
couple of
Mate,
stories.
your stairs, you'd have to chisel your stair. You'd have to carve your stairs.
I mean the
in.
wood, mate. The bark and all.
That's the first thing you have to do because you jump in after hollowing out and have to climb back out. First thing you do is the spiral staircase.
Yeah, and you don't cut the top off it.
It's always going to attract wood lice and fucking. What about woodpeckers just coming in the fucking middle of the night?
he's got a fair point there.
Well, you'll have owls in the night, woodpeckers in the day, fucking trying to get in, like trying to fucking like nest in your house. Like.
I'm not running a bloody bird sanctuary. It's taken me 11 years. What did you think? There's squirrels all over the
Squirrels
place.
as well, yeah, like fucking, trying to hide nuts and that in you, whatever. Just like fucking smashing through one of your windows to get in.
How big are these squirrels? Now you think.
Branches fall off it quite regularly. In 2006, the largest branch on the tree, it broke off. There were no witnesses, but it was so no one knows if it was a criminal act. No, that's not it. No, it says there's no witnesses, but it was bigger than the circumference of the trunks of most trees. It was over 2 meters in diameter.
So if you think
And it
about
was
that,
over 30 metres long, and it smashed part of the enclosing fence and created the pavement of the walkway surrounding the sequoia.
So there was no one below it when it happened.
No,
no witnesses.
No villagers underneath it or anything.
no. or inside it.
Your scale is way off. There's no way. That's
That's the problem.
villages underneath it.
I think
They
you summed
destroyed
it
a
up.
whole
And I
town.
think I've got this image in my head. It's more like the giant beanstalk.
This week in history?
It only took-
Really? Are we opening there? Are we opening there? Fuck me.
It only takes about 3 houses to make
Come
a
on.
village, though, doesn't it? At least.
Isn't that a hamlet?
That's right. Yeah, it's barely a street.
It's just a
I'm
Shakespeare.
sure there's a village somewhere with just 3 houses.
This is great. We've been out to the far reaches of space,
No, it's
and now we came back to Earth, and now we're going into the depths of the past.
Yeah.
that's right.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, Ken.
I knew we shouldn't have made this village directly underneath the world's biggest tree. I did say, but no one listened.
Build it in a straight line. Maximise the shade. Oh, it only moves with the bloody sun. doesn't it? This week in 1739, way back when, Dick Turpin, you aware of him?
Yeah. Was he the highway, the bandit?
Yeah,
The
highwayman. Yeah, that's right. His identity is revealed, uncovered rather, by his former school teacher. Saw his handwriting on a ransom note and went, "That's young Turpin."
Really? That's how they
and
got-
grassed him up. Yeah,
No way.
grassed him up big time. Yeah, I think he was like 29 or something when he was hanged for horse thievery. Kind of romanticised. There's his horse was called Black Bess, and there's a lie about him riding from London to York like overnight or something.
Yeah, well, that's obviously a lie.
This week in 1997, I did not know that she was a Scot. Ken,
Who?
Dolly the sheep.
Oh,
She's quoted
really?
this week in 1997. Yeah, in Rosslyn in Scotland.
Oh.
Do you know what she's called? Dolly the sheep.
No.
Do you know a man about the cloned sheep? Or
Yeah, I
who-
remember
what
that.
one about?
Yeah, I remember that one.
It's because the cells they took in order to clone it came from the mammary glands, came from the boobs. So they call it Dolly after Dolly Parton.
No
Oh,
way.
no way.
Really?
This week in 2006, you must remember this, the Securitas robbery takes place. The biggest robbery in British history. £53 million stolen. They thought later on in the investigation it was an inside job because the manager of the depot in Kent was, they thought in on it, but the story goes that he was kidnapped and his wife and child or children were held hostage and they had him overnight. And then they were just masked, doesn't say anything about uniforms, and it was at least 6 people. And they took them to the depot, gained access, bound 14 workers that were there, put them in money cages, so they took the money out of cages, put the people in them. And yeah, they weren't harmed, although obviously the threat is pretty horrendous if you've got a shotgun in your face. So yeah, caged the people, took the cash. Many apprehended, some not though, with huge divvies of this money.
No way.
Yeah, somebody was caught wearing a Salvation Army uniform, going to deposit £7,000, but they left the binding, the bits of paper that bind together like sort of £10,000 with the name of Tunbridge, Kent on it, which is where the depot was.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, he was obviously just he was just one of the guys brought in to be a bit of muscle.
Well, in the Salvation Army uniform, they got, I want to deposit this.
Yeah. I want to deposit this cash.
Anything
shit, let me tell that rap. Oh, bollocks.
Anything look unusual when he deposited the cash? Well, there was the teardrop tattoo on his left eye, his 6'5" frame, probably about 18.5 stones. ACAB tattooed on his knuckles, and a little finger missing. And it said Tunbridge, Kent on the money as well.
Yeah.
This Salvation, he was wearing the female Salvation Army uniform as well, which sort of put me in a suspicious way.
I read about another pretty incredible robbery that happened. It was in Manchester. It was last year, and and it was the second time it's happened. I think the first one happened in Salford, right? And they dug a tunnel from the edge of the motorway underneath the petrol station car park, around it, I think, underneath the foundation, obviously, of the petrol station.
What, in the big tank of petrol?
No, and just dropped the cash point from inside the shop down, and then just tied it to something, got a car, and just drove it and dragged it out of the hole.
Yeah.
And nobody knew it was even happening.
I know.
And it must have taken a month.
I remember the news report afterwards, and I remember reading or seeing something on TV that just asked for, if you've noticed 3 men acting suspiciously between today and what we imagine was about 8 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Can you please phone this number? 0800, we haven't a fucking clue.
Yeah,
No, the balls of it, and just the old school nature. We'll dig a tunnel. That'd be ridiculous. And they go through all that. No, they go through all the Ocean's style heist about where do we get a contortionist from? No, you're thinking too big, and then they just go for the tunnel. And while they're digging it, having a great laugh in the tunnel, making it bigger. Nobody knows what's going on. It's fine because they think that they rented a space. Said from the side of the motorway. There was another one. That was right. The other one was they rented a shop space and just dug
underneath it and rounded up.
Yeah, about 7 meters they calculated.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Mate, you say there's no honour amongst thieves. I mean, fuck it.
Well, that is a victimless crime.
Yeah.
So what would they have done afterwards? They got just filled the hole in
I imagine
otherwise
leave. Fuck it.
They'll find like you said about that one with the shop. They just follow from the back. They follow the tunnel.
And go. This is where they must have got in. Let's hope they hang around to sort of survey their work and
What it means is they rented the space. They weren't running the shop.
I know, but then there might be some records of them.
Well, they'd have covered that base, wouldn't they?
I think so. I think they might have used a false identity to rent the place.
Fingerprints and all that.
Well, the one on the side of the motorway, fingerprints. They would have worn gloves.
Yeah, and in the mud and stuff.
Hang about.
The whole time.
How would you do it then?
What?
Rob a bank.
I probably would have thought the same idea, just digging a hole.
And you'd wear gloves?
I probably wouldn't have thought to wear the gloves, only not to get my hands dirty. Not.
No, that's definitely true because you did just ask us what about fingerprints.
I think I would have tried to get to the top of the building, the bank, and then just sort of broke.
You've just reversed the process. That's all you've done. You've just flipped it
over.
They came in from the floor.
Dig a hole from underneath. That'd take fucking ages. Whereas if I just smash the roof in.
What? And hoist the cash machine out of the roof.
And where do you go?
Drag it down and throw it off the roof.
They'll be expecting it coming from the ground, mate.
Fucking hell. I love the old school idea of the saw coming out of the ground and going around the cash point.
Yeah.
And then just a circular hole, but then popping the floor back up. So when the guys come in the next one, they're like, "Is there a cash machine there?"
I think I'd go into the bank during the day, find somewhere to hide, wait for them to lock up the room, and I'd just take the cash and smash my way out and leg it.
Not many places to hide down the old Santander.
I don't know, I'm sure there's some places to hide, mate. like the office of
Do you know
someone
what?
that's just been fired or something.
Weirdly, I was in town the other day,
Yeah,
and it's not the co-op. What's it? It's like another building society. Nationwide.
Oh yeah, I know the one.
Well, I saw a woman who's the cleaner there, and she's got like her mate with her. Her mate's eating a Greggs like sausage roll out of a fucking paper bag. She's just got the keys. She's fucking opening the front door with all her cleaning equipment in her hand, just walking in.
Not the keys to the safe though.
No, but he's he's onto something there. If you can get in and hide and just wait.
What, in the safe? What?
No, if you knew how, assuming that you had the skills.
All
to
right,
crack
so
a
assuming
safe.
all of the difficult stuff is taken care of.
I'm just making the simple point.
without
Of,
an explanation.
we can say to him, "Oh, hide it in the bank," and blah 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 blah. But if you can just get the keys off this woman, and then you know how to break into a safe.
So
Easy.
you gotta go and seduce this woman there.
But
Yeah.
well, you'll have to just hide
That'd
in
be
there
how
for,
I do it.
You'll have to hide in there for a few days, spy on them, like opening the safe, work out the the
Dress as a
code.
plant.
Wow.
Just like as a fern, just in the corner.
You could dress up as a banker so they think you're just a new employee. You'd find someone dull there that's just gonna say hello to you.
Well, it would
not
have
really
to be
question.
the manager, wouldn't it? You'd have to assume the manager was a moron.
Well, you know their names, so you'd just be like, alright, Carl, hi Carl. And he'd be like, hi, and then just think, oh, I've forgotten who they are because I've got so many people working for me. I don't want them to know that I've forgotten their names, so he just doesn't say anything. He doesn't want to offend you by saying, sorry, ain't you working?
Right.
He doesn't want to say that because then he might offend me because I'm like, oh, yeah, I've been working here for fucking years.
Intricacies of this polite
they're
slang.
like- they're
Are you
like-
gonna get to the fucking
So-
set?
So he ain't gonna ask you who you are. He's just gonna assume that he knows you because you're calling him by his name.
Right.
So I'm saying, alright, Carl. So he's like, oh, you must know me, so I must.
So how long? How
He
long?
knows me, so I know him. He must be working with me for years. And then I can just say to him, Carl, what's the code again? What's the code?
Oh, Carl, do you know what, mate? It's just out of my mind.
Carl, I'm just putting the money back in the safe like we obviously always do. What was it? I forget. Like you forgot I forgot the combination.
Loads of time for Carl to get a description of him, fucking all over CCTV.
Yeah, just walking about like
It's just, the thing is, Carl, Melissa's asked me to put stuff in the safe tonight, so last time I did it was probably like 3 years ago when I first started. So you'll have to remind me of the code.
Right.
Fucking hell.
say he does give it to you.
How'd you do that?
What do you do then? You open the
What's
safe.
next?
It's full of money and like gold and stuff.
Yeah, I ain't gonna nick it when he's still there, am I? I'm gonna make him think I'm putting it away. And then when it comes to home time, I'm gonna be like, yeah, see you, Carl. Yeah, alright, ta-da, yeah, I'm right behind you. I'll make my way out like in 10 minutes. I've just left I've left my sandwiches in my drawer in my office.
Sandwiches in the safe.
I'll have to go. I'll see you. I'll lock up. Yeah, no problem. I'll lock
I'll
up.
knock up. Yeah, that was my next question. What? He's just gonna wait outside and then just be like, "Oh, I'll just lock the door and leave him in there." Oh my god! Carl.
Carl, were you in on this? I don't know what happened. You said you'd been working here for ages. You've been working here for ages, Carl. What happened? You said you'd lock up. What the fuck? We all lock. It's a 3-man team to lock up, and then you've got the safe guys. You didn't tell him the code for the safe.
He left his sandwiches in there at the end of the day after lunch, and you bought it.
Yeah, what's he
going
doing?
on, Carl?
What's he doing having lunch in the safe? It's against protocol, definitely. Antonio,
Yeah.
I've been reading a book recently that I've spoken about on this podcast. We only got around to really getting into it in the last couple of days. A book that Ken lent me called The First 15 Lives of Harry August.
Yeah.
By Claire North.
By Claire North, yeah. It's incredible. I adore it, and I'll have finished it by next week, so I might chip in on Ken's literary salon. But I think I'll do enough here as we enter the Twilight Tone. So this book, The First 15 Lives of Harry August, centres on a chap named Harry August, and he's what's known in the book as an Ouroboran. And they are people who, when they die, are born again, straight away. You've different types. Some forget, some remember everything. There's grades in between as well, but for the purposes of the Twilight Tone, we'll focus on Harry August's type, which is the mnemonics. They remember everything. So you die and you're born again, and when you get to a conscious level, you remember everything that you've done in your past life. So you could be 3 years old but have the knowledge and sophistication of an 85-year-old, say.
What do you mean by born again? Is you're not born like immediately again in the same year? So if you die now in 2015, you go back and you're born again as yourself.
Yeah.
In 1986 or 87.
Such a cool idea, though, isn't it? That idea of going back and knowing you've already lived a life.
Yeah.
You could change things.
The book talks a lot about the tedium of youth, however, because you know everything, but you've got to go to school.
So, sounds good. I want to read this book.
It's incredible, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your life would just
Yeah.
radically change completely and utterly from day one, wouldn't it? You wouldn't have to go to school. Why would you?
Well,
you'd know all the information that you know.
Well, no.
You'd
So
know
guess
the
what you're
future.
saying is,
Yeah, but
so
then
you could predict.
you're born into the
events
same
and-
family.
Yep.
Everything else will happen the same around you.
Yep.
But you're the only one there that's gone back and can change it, right?
I'm not the only one. In the book, there's loads. But we're just asking for your opinions on what you would do.
You don't look very happy, Justin.
No, I think it's a cool concept, but I think, this idea that you could go like back through school and get better. Your life. If you're born with all of your pre-existing knowledge, you'd change the face of you'd change everything. Everything would alter. You get yours.
But think
sure-
about,
Yeah,
but think about the
you could be
implications of
predicting
it.
stuff to people, so they're like, "How did you know that?"
Exactly.
Yeah. You could be like, "I bet you any money that soon we'll have like iPads. These things called iPads and shit," and they'd be like,
How
I
do they
wouldn't
work?
go around just aimlessly betting people for money. Like, I bet you soon we'll have these. Like, I'd go to somebody that like James Randi that I'm aware of that exists, who's going to be able to put me on a platform.
"You'd have to describe
And I'm going to go
it,
like,
how
right,
it works and everything."
this is going to happen, 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 this is going to happen. There's all of my predictions. When 1 or 2 or 3 of them happen, come find me, and then I will be able to tell you the next 80 years. I'll be able to tell you
that's amazing.
that there's major terror attacks. I'll be able to tell
So
you.
you would do that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Definitely right on. Definitely.
You know that when
Right
you
on.
do all that, you'll die.
Warning.
And you'll come back again. Because you will die eventually. You're mortal.
And then you
You're
come back and you do
immortal
it
in
again.
one sense, but mortal in each life.
Differently.
So you change everything, but you die and you're born again.
The good thing about it, like you just said,
that's whoa. I think whoa.
By his third and fourth life, in the third life he talks a lot about trying to find God and tries every single religion. Why wouldn't you? To look for a deity, to look for an answer. But then second and fourth lives is mostly academia, becoming a professor of physics, a professor of chemistry, becoming an engineer, a mechanic, fighting in the war.
So say you can say like maximum is what? Let's put 100 years on it, yeah.
Mhm.
So you would constantly live the same 100 years over and over and over, like from 1987.
yeah, it'll be
to,
the same every time.
You know.
Well, yeah. Unless you die in some, unless you.
I guess
crash
the way
a
it
plane or
works is
something,
that
yeah,
everything
you
else
would, I
around
suppose.
you.
Yeah, but then I'm always born in 1987
Yes,
again.
always.
Yeah, always.
Always born
Right.
at the same time, same day,
Oh,
to the
man,
same
that's
people.
depressing.
I guess things that weren't in your control will still not really be in your control to some extent. Certain things you won't be able to control, regardless of the fact that you know it's going to happen. And other things you will, because it all depends on like
Yeah.
the things that are closer to you can have an effect on stopping from happening. But the things that are like in the larger scale of things, like the world, like big like terrorist attacks and stuff, how would you stop it from happening? Because people would just think you're a nut job. If you started saying, "Oh, this is going to happen," you'd be like,
no,
"What?
no,
How
you'd
do
have
you
to
know this
prove.
information?"
You'd have to prove it with small things. You'd have
Yeah.
to prove it with like knowledge. You'd have to prove it with
Proof.
Fuck, you couldn't like Google it though, could you? You'd have to just know it. And
That's exactly what I was going to say next. I was
Yeah.
going to say,
Yeah,
if you die
yeah.
tomorrow and you're born again, what are you going to tell
yeah,
people?
what am
How
I
are you
going to say
prove it?
happens in like the 90s? I'll be like, oh, fucking Tim Henman.
Well, I'd be used to it.
Like, the base of my knowledge. You know, I'd be like, oh, fuck, what happened? They'd be like, has the Berlin Wall already gone down? Right, okay, yeah, well, that's going to happen. But they'd be like, well, yeah.
No, again, it's brilliantly described. It's so well written because sometimes they recognise each other. Sometimes in the 50s, two of them will meet and they'll have an inkling, and one of them will say Tiananmen Square, and the other one will say 9/11, and they'll just sit and have a chat
Oh,
about their
really?
lives and.
What, so 9/11 is in they know the terrorist attack?
Well, they'll have lived up until September the 11th, 2001, and they'll know about it, and it might be the 50s.
Right, yeah. Fuck.
It's amazing.
That it does sound fucking.
But the thing is,
awesome.
yeah, I'd be useless because I like now I haven't taken in hardly any information like the last couple of years. Like,
But
Would you change that if you?
I'd be useless.
in
There'd
your
be a lot of
second
things
life?
I wouldn't even think that I'd have to
Oh
try.
man,
and
you're
intervene.
right. You would just be powerless, wouldn't you? Mind you, if you could get a platform, if you could go like someone like James Randi or
Yeah.
someone who's like willing to invest in this like ability and this knowledge, but most importantly believes it rather than
so you do
Just
that once
thinks you're a
and then
nut job.
come back, or you do it every single time? What
yeah.
different-
What would
this-
be the
this-
purpose of doing it?
What are the consequences?
Well,
that
well,
timeline
well,
may
to
carry
make
on.
some sort of order in the world.
That'd be exhausting, mate.
I'd probably try and eliminate. I'd probably try and prove. I'd probably. Okay, this is. I'd probably say I'm the Messiah. I try and make the world order mine. I'd say I'm a Messiah, and then I'd be like, right, listen. but then I'd use that power for good. I'd be like, right, love and and like
Yeah.
respect one another. And there's only one God. And I, know who it is, but oh bollocks!
Yeah, but mate, imagine what your parents would be thinking during all of this. What the fuck is wrong with our
Exactly.
child? Why can't they just live a normal life? What is this deal with? What's all this act? First thing I thought of is how I would change my personal life. How
Yeah.
I do again. You're talking
I think
about
eventually
stopping
you come
big
up with
things
the
happening.
idea that
But really, I
that
would
pain,
just focus on my own
suffering,
life.
war, violence is inevitable.
Yeah.
So just crack on with making an awesome existence for
I
yourself.
would. I just.
Loads of them do.
I
You
just
mentioned betting
don't-
first of all. It's one of the things that's covered very, very quickly in this excellent book. Is a group called the Chronos Club, and it's where you can meet other Ouroborans, and where from the beginnings they have placed large wages. So there's always a ready source of cash, so you can travel. You can do whatever you like. They look out. The only rule is really don't fuck about too much and don't kill another Ouroboran.
I just thought of something awesome.
Go for it, Tom.
You could write a song that is a hit in the future that you'll make shitloads of money off. You could just be like, I've come up with this incredible song, yeah, and just fucking start singing it, and it'd catch on, and then you'd be the creator of this.
That's how I do it. That's how I do it. I'd record all of the
music.
songs. I'd lock them in some kind of time-proof thing. I'd give them to
Time-proof.
somebody else. I'd give them to James Randi, and I'd be like, right, mate, 20 years, all of those are going to be released, guaranteed.
Do you know what happened though? If it was James,
And all these movies as well. I'd go through all the movies I know.
Yeah.
I'd put every single movie that I know is going to be made in the future. Everyone I could wrap my brain off. Every song, every hit thing. And then I'd do nothing to change anything. And then I'd just let it all happen. And then
Yeah.
I'd go over to him and be like, right, I predicted all of that.
Why don't you just say like, I've written this song? Why don't you just use it? Like, because no one's gonna know you're not.
Yeah, that's what I was
It's
thinking.
plagiarism, but not really. Like if you could play some like.
I can see the immediate benefits of like having a better life, making just my own life just way better.
Mate,
why wouldn't you?
I
Why
know
wouldn't you?
singing
Why wouldn't you just like
lessons,
take
I
as much
learned how to
heroin
play
as you
guitar.
wanted to?
Take
Why
as
don't you
much
just take-
heroin as I wanted
Yeah,
to.
yeah. Why not? Why not die in a fucking morphine haze? You know it's gonna happen again.
Because you'd have to live 16 years of a child, being a child, and then
You'd
a
have to
teenager
cut it a long
again to
time.
get back to the same point. It's
You can
that'd be-
ask for a thing from the Chronos Club called extraction, where they write you a phony letter or something like that, dead letters I think they're called, giving you a scholarship to a great school in London, and then you go and you meet one of them, and yeah, you can live with them, do whatever you like. How are you feeling about it now? What about the implications of your actions? Because you said you'd write a Beatles song, but then if the Beatles didn't get together, that will have knock-on effects to their lives and other people's.
He's not old enough.
I just mean I'd write a song like that I know was gonna.
Cisco, the Fong song.
Would you try and affect anything? Would you warn Michael Jackson he was going to die? You like him? And then
Yeah.
you might get to see him at the O2?
You'd warn Michael Jackson, but
Couldn't
not
it?
the
'Cause
children.
You're right. Like all those things
You,
I thought of, all the grand
you
things,
wouldn't actually have
they
any
think you're a
control.
nut job.
You're
If
not
you
actually-
tried to get in touch with Michael Jackson and go, Michael, you're going to die, and this is how you're going to do it.
I don't know.
You're
Michael
gonna be
Jackson's
coming
the
back.
sort of person that believe you.
How are you going to get in touch with
Come
him?
back from the future.
How are you going to get in contact with him?
There's a way. There's always a way. There's people, man, that do manage to get in contact with their fucking, idols and shit.
You're restricted by your own knowledge, aren't you, in the next life? Because you're like, if you don't know where Michael Jackson's... If you knew where Michael Jackson was going to be at a certain time, then you could fucking go there. But because you don't know any of that
Oh,
stuff,
you could
Like,
spend
you
a
can't-
whole spend a whole lifetime finding out, and then
die and
in
then
the
go
next
back and
life-
do it.
You'd open a bank account at the age of 11, because then you'd know so much more, and you could start working earlier and.
See, so now the idea of changing massive things becomes you know, takes a back seat because you realise all the things you could do. You spend a whole lifetime studying
Fuck
stocks.
you. We're giving an 11-year-old boy a job.
No, it's not that.
I don't
It's
mean
not that.
that.
It's the way he's brought like this amazing thing. You could do all this stuff.
I know,
You
yeah,
could
yeah.
open a bank account and get a job.
I'd get a student loan, but I wouldn't spend any of it on fucking DVDs and CDs.
Dude, you could just bet, you could just gamble, you could just make money. You could make millions of pounds with this. Without a loan, without a student loan, you have to get a student loan out.
What do you mean? How would you gamble? What, I couldn't gamble in my previous life. I don't know how to fucking gamble. Like,
You
I
know-
don't know.
What do you mean?
What?
No, what you're saying, you could gamble. You just said you could gamble to make your money.
You know the future, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah?
How would that be advantageous in a bet? Think about it.
Yeah, but no one's gonna do that. People don't sit around and go, "I bet you fucking blah blah blah." I bet you fucking.
I'll tell you.
All right,
imagine. Yeah.
Imagine there's a shop that you could go to and place bets that had like odds on them as well. A bookmaker, say.
Yeah, but then again, I'd have to. This is what I'm saying. I'd have to remember, like, if I was betting on like a football match, I'd have to remember the fucking score and all, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
If I fucking forgot.
Yeah, but that's what Ken said. You spend a life writing it all down, remembering it all. So then when you die, you'll come back and then you'll bet loads.
Yeah,
So you have to go through a life.
So let's
First time round, you wouldn't do that though. 'Cause
You have to
wouldn't
get
know
your
you're
student
about to
loan.
come
No, you're right.
back.
Can we hear a bit more of this? Because I sense you were going somewhere with that. That like when you were 11, you could open a bank account, get a job, you could get your student loan.
Well, I just mean like I could save up earlier, get a camper van, like as my first vehicle, fucking, and all the money that I've saved that I would have in my previous life I would have wasted on like shit that I don't need. I would have put that towards travelling and stuff and travelled the world, man.
In a camper van.
Yeah, like I always wanted. I still go to uni, but I'd probably go to uni somewhere else. Shit.
What uni would you go to instead?
What?
What
Oh,
would-
different uni.
Yeah.
Don't know. Somewhere.
Would you study
Else,
something different?
Liverpool or something, maybe.
What would you study in Liverpool?
Music. I reckon I'd try and learn a different instrument from a really young age. I'd love to like know how to play the violin like proper good, like really good, and the banjo. So I do the violin, the banjo, and the drums again. Get really good from a really young age. Do music tech at uni. Try and I have the singing lessons as well, so I could be like an awesome singer, and I'd probably start a rock band and sing and play.
And then
And-
you'd
and
be
then-
awesome at that stuff the
And then
next
I'd-
time
yeah,
you're
of
like
course,
4 years
Keep your
old.
skills,
Yeah.
This
Since
has got so much potential. I don't even think we can possibly fit
The
it
thing
in an
is-
entire episode of this podcast. This is amazing.
The thing is, I don't know about you guys, but like now, the idea of learning an instrument properly from the start seems like a lot of work, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like now that we're older, it's like fucking hell. I can't be asked to learn the violin. I'm never going to learn the violin. So that's kind of a bit of a regret of mine that I never learned how to play something properly. from
Well,
really
no,
young age.
no. The regret is because you can't be asked.
Yeah, the regret is your own complete laziness. That is such shit what you just
Yeah.
said. Too old to learn to play the violin. How old are you?
Well,
28.
no, but
Too old.
it is
Time
hard.
to ask.
It is hard to get the drive for it.
Discipline.
Yeah,
that's what you
that's
need, mate. Just
that's
keep
essentially
practicing.
being called. That's just lazy, mate.
No, it's not though. They say that don't they say all the time that your best time to learn stuff like that is when you're a kid.
Because you can be asked.
Yeah, and that when you're an adult, you don't have the time. You don't
That's
have the time.
depressed me. That has.
Because when you're a child, you've got the time to go to classes after school, blah blah blah, and bloody learn an instrument. But now, when you're adults, you don't. You got to find the spare time, the
I
extra
know.
time.
I mean, when are you gonna find like a couple of hours to just like sit around and do
Well, no,
something?
but you don't, 'cause
Yeah,
you gotta
no.
work to
No,
survive.
I know.
Whereas when you're a kid, you
no,
don't have to
or
work.
come around rallies and record a podcast.
It's true though.
Yeah, it
when
is
you're
so
a kid,
true.
you haven't got any responsibilities, and you don't have to.
I think
You've
that-
got the time to do whatever you want. When you're an adult, you haven't got the time to
No,
do
it's
whatever
I don't
you
think
want.
it's.
I
I don't think it's.
unless you're a millionaire. If you're, and then you haven't got.
I
no,
don't
'cause you
think
need
Dude,
to
I'm
go
not being
time.
funny. I'm not being funny. You are talking shit. You are talking so much shit, and you've got this obsession with time, and
have.
it's
No, but it's
bizarre
no. But the thing
that you
is,
feel like
but the
there's some
thing
sort
is-
of bottomless pit on
No, but the
every
thing
day.
is-
We're back to
The thing
scale
is-
again, then.
the thing is,
Yeah, absolutely.
the thing is, people, certain jobs where you earn certain amounts of money will allow you more spare time to do more stuff. Yeah. Whereas jobs where you earn less money, you have to put in more working time to survive. So you've got less.
How many hours do you work a day?
11.
Yeah. Well, from what time in the morning to what time in the evening?
So 7:30 6:30 to 5 in the evening.
Okay, what time do you go to bed?
11ish.
Kiss my ass. You just fucking said that you've got like 6 hours.
Yeah, but
of
this
time.
is the thing though, because you're tired and then you're like, because you've been working all day.
You're just talking shit. You're just talking about being lazy and not
I
being
think
ass.
that-
No, I think it's true about people.
I
where
don't
we
think
are
that
now,
they
like-
say
like,
that you learn better when you're a kid because you got more time. I think it's about the fact that you learn anyway.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
brain's
yeah,
developing,
it's like-
and you're picking up skills. I think
It's
that's
your,
what
it's your
it's about.
nature to learn as a
I
child.
think that if you
Yeah,
said like if you
there's
said
that
like
as
oh
well,
I'm gonna
but then you've
learn,
also got the time to
but
commit.
I think if you said I'm gonna learn the violin and I'm gonna play for like half an hour every night or an hour, when you get in from work, that's
Yeah.
violin time.
Yeah.
Drive Lauren crazy
half
as
an
you're
Yes,
hour.
trying
I
to
know.
play
What I'm
it.
saying is, I don't think that's enough time to learn. I don't think it's enough time.
No,
Like
you're
what?
not
2
gonna
hours
get
every
A
day.
year's worth of half an hour, 4 times a week isn't enough time to learn
Right,
to
mate,
play
I'm
the
gonna learn how to
violin.
play the violin in the next
You
year.
might be alright, mate. You
You
probably
fucking
surprise
should.
yourself.
You shouldn't go, oh, I really want to play the violin, but I'm never going to in my life. The one life I've got given. I'm never going to learn to play the violin because I've only got
to
7
be
spare
fair,
hours
to
in every
be
fucking
fair,
day.
to be fair.
And fucking Sunday.
to be fair,
Fucking a whole Sunday. I'll never learn how to do that.
to be fair, in the last 20 minutes, I've started to believe that I actually am gonna have another chance. So I'm thinking, oh, it's fine, it's okay, I'm gonna get another chance.
Yeah, because you're going
I
to be
forgot.
fucking...
I got lost in that world of like, having
Oh.
known that you got another chance.
No, but the point is, I think you
So-
could. You're not going to get proper like.
No, but the
Amazing.
the
You're
fun
not gonna be
reality is you've got
remembered
loads of
forever.
time.
You're not going to be remembered forever as a violinist, but you could probably be alright at it.
I don't care
I
about
think.
that though. I'm not. I don't.
If you could just play the theme tune from The Godfather on the
Oh.
violin,
Oh, tone.
you should just learn that. Just go to a violin teacher and go, right, I know you're going to teach me, which is all the scales and shit. Just The Godfather
show
theme.
Would you
I
do it
do
if we
this.
chipped in and bought you a violin, like for your birthday or something?
I don't know. I don't know if I
No
don't know
waste
if
of
I'm
money.
ready for it. I don't know.
Yeah, they're
You've got
expensive as
time.
well,
This is the
violins.
thing.
It's
I
like
don't
fucking
know.
time,
No,
mate.
I don't have faith. I tried learning how to play the guitar when I was younger. Like 2 or 3 times. Like on separate occasions. Yeah.
Right, when you say you
And,
tried
and
to
I
learn,
just and
when
I
you
just
say,
didn't. I found it so hard that I just thought to myself, no, I'm not made to.
Right,
it.
right.
My
When you
fingers
say
are
you
no
tried
good.
to learn them,
So
what
I
do you
just-
mean?
so
Did
probably
you
have
like
the same-
pick up a guitar and try and form some chords?
No, I was having lessons.
Right, okay.
But I just
okay.
couldn't. It hurt my fingers trying to do it. I just I couldn't
Yeah,
do it.
didn't hurt mine when
I
I
was
first
like-
started playing.
I was like-
I just mine were fine. I
Too
didn't like
painful.
persevere and then like form calluses on the end of my fingers
Yeah.
that now help me play guitar.
I
But
found it
I just
painful.
fucking nailed it straight away, mate. To be honest, I got a guitar and just nailed it, and then like I just carried on in that
Yeah.
vein.
Well, that's the only way to work, man. If you're not getting something straight
I
away,
think my
fuck
main
it.
problem
Yeah,
was that I
yeah.
wasn't motivated enough as a kid.
And, yes.
Or as an adult. Or as an adult.
Yeah.
A truly excellent Twilight tone again, mate. Nice one. As I say, turned a bit into the J files halfway through.
Yeah, because that I want to
No,
read
but
that,
that was
book,
that was,
mate. I want to read
that book. Is awesome. That
That
is
is
blown
blow.
up.
That's
But
just such
at the
a
same
cool
time,
concept.
quite depressing though, isn't it? It is depressing.
I
Yeah,
think it's
in a lot,
depressing
dude.
to live the same time period over and over and over and, over
And it's
over
weird.
again.
I tell you another great thing without giving too much away. It's just like a running thing, but it's fine because if you thought about it enough, you'd come to the conclusion that because you're able to meet other Ouroborans, you can, and they do, meet at the Cronus Club, and you have the youngest member addressing the oldest member, and vice versa, and you can take messages back through time. Because when the old person is born, they'll be born maybe, give it the 100 years again, 100 years before, or 93 years if it's like a 7-year-old before that person. So you're able to
my
actually
brain's
pass
moving
messages
back
gently
in
in my
time.
head as you're describing
So
it to
you
me. I
actually
get it.
you actually know things from the future and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, it's not just your future anymore. man.
No.
I feel I've waited on about the first 15 lives of Harry August a bit much, so we'll skip the literary salon until next weekend.
Yeah, sure.
This is a long ass recording.
No, it's fine. I've only read one anyway, which was written on the body by Jeanette Winterson, which
Awesome.
was beautiful.
All right, I love it. Can't wait to hear about it, man.
Well, I did look out a passage, but it was very much about. I mean, it would have fitted with this because it was all about death, basically. But you know,
That's right. I've really enjoyed this
Maybe
one.
next week.
We've gone as far out of space as back down into the tiniest village to be crushed by one branch, and then talking about being reborn. Excellent,
through the
excellent
depths
job.
of time.
Thank
Break
you
it back.
so much, Antonio Romola,
Cheers.
Justin Cliff,
Thank you, Dan.
and Kenneth Trainer.
Good night, everyone.
That'd be difficult to edit, I feel, that one. I think there's a lot.
Yeah, because we jump back and forth as well, good space.
Well, I'll know when to grab it, and yeah, obviously your bank robbery.